Hey loves, welcome to Literally My Life, My Guide to Girlhood. I'm your host, Alexandra Lamine, also known as the Chicago Barbie. I'm a high school journalist, model, and future media mogul, here to guide you through this wild ride we call girlhood. This podcast is my heart on a playlist where I share my journey, my struggles, and all the little wins in between as I navigate being a young woman on a mission. I'm here to let you know you're never alone in this journey, whether we're talking about self-love, personal growth, or just the realities of being a girl in this crazy world. I'm all about keeping it real and giving you the tools you need to thrive. So get comfy, grab a cup of tea, and let's dive into today's episode. You got this, and I'm here to remind you just how amazing you really are. Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of Literally My Life, My Guide to Girlhood. I am so happy to be back. It is our second episode of the year, and I cannot believe Literally My Life is turning one next week. Literally My Life is like my baby, so it's like my child is turning one. So you understand why it's a huge milestone for me. Okay, before we get into today's episode, please follow at Literally My Life MGTG on Instagram and TikTok to stay updated on all things My Guide to Girlhood. Subscribe to our YouTube channel because we have a lot of really fun stuff coming to YouTube soon. Subscribe to our daily newsletter and submit all of your questions to our Ask Alex form. Okay, and all of those links are in the episode description below. Okay. Now, let's get into today's episode. So, as you can tell by the title, today's episode is about reputations. So, I wrote down a little hook. I'm not going to pretend like I'm not reading it because I am. Okay. Reputations, they're like mirrors, but sometimes they're broken by hands that aren't even ours. Today I'm talking about how my reputation has hit rock bottom at school, and yet I've never felt lighter or more focused on what truly matters. Okay, so I decided to do this episode about this topic and write that whole amazing hook because I recently realized at school that my reputation was spiraling and that everyone, and this is going to sound sad and a little cliche, but that everybody kind of hates me. And now I'm not saying that in a negative way. It's a fact. Like if you went to school with me, you'd be like, wow, girl, like everybody hates you. And it's sad and it's exhausting and it's weird because I'm really a nice person. But I wanted to talk about that, and I wanted to talk about how realizing that everybody hates me triggered a deeper reflection on whose opinions really mattered. And I want to talk about the true, and I wrote this down too. These are the key points of the episode, and I wrote these down. Okay, we're going to be talking about focusing on those opinions who really matter, like God's. We're going to be talking about the perspective of those who know you intimately versus those who don't, and the freedom that comes from letting go of what others think. We did an episode over the summer called, I think it was titled like how to really stop caring what people think about you. It was our first, I think that was our first video episode too. Oh my God, we've come so far. I'm kind of here to reiterate that. When I recorded that episode, I was still in online school. It was the summer, but I had done the whole year online because last year I got really sick. Well, this year I've gone back to school and I've had to heal in that same environment that I got hurt. So it's been a very difficult challenge, but I'm navigating every day. And I've had to remember again that everybody hates me and how I'm coping with it because I really don't care. I really don't care. My reputation has never been worse, and I really genuinely don't care. And we're going to get into why. Okay. So sit back, grab a tea, get comfy, grab a blanket, because this is going to be a really good episode and probably my most carefree. Okay, so I want to get into our first segment, which is the reality of reputation. So, and a lot of this, I have my outline over here, guys, so I'm going to keep looking over here. So, reputations, I feel, are often shaped by things outside of your control, and I wrote down three things: rumors, judgments, and misunderstandings. Okay. Now, my reputation is clouded by these three things. When it comes to rumors, number one, I have heard, and I've talked about this before, I've heard every rumor about me in the book. Every single one. I've been dead, I've been pregnant, I've been in a coma, I've been on drugs, I've been in rehab, I've been beat up, I've been everything. Judgments, I hate talking about this on here, and I've talked about it like 2 or 3 times since starting it because I started this podcast to like get my reputation away from this situation. So I try to give it as little airtime as possible. So here's my attempt once again. Like I said, I transferred into my high school my sophomore year, and I unfortunately fell victim into a situation with a guy. Nothing happened, nothing serious happened during that whole situation, and nothing serious came of it. Yet this guy was really popular, really well known, and so I gained a lot of traction and a lot of popularity that I did not ask for being associated with him, and dealt with a lot of judgment. I dealt with a lot of judgment, and I had to deal with a lot of preconceived notions. Now, half of these came from him and his friend group once, I realized that situation wasn't going anywhere. And half of it came from people who just went to school with us and didn't really know him or know me or the both of us and just talked about it. Nevertheless, because of sexism in high school and the way rumors work, he was still this glorified king, and I was a slut. It was really bad. So I had to deal with a lot of judgments and a lot of preconceived notions about me. I was like, kind of like this, like, hoe who just like came to Whitney one day and just was a hoe and was like trying to take over. That these are some things I've heard, like stuff I've heard verbatim from other people. And I think that's insane. That's not at all my character. I am not at all. I'm like the furthest thing from a host. It's like the craziest thing. And also, if I am, who cares? Who is that affecting? That guy was not dating anyone. Like, who cares? And three, misunderstandings. Now, this one is a little less common than the other two. I've dealt with more rumors and judgment than misunderstandings with people. However, it has happened. I have met people before that I felt, I don't know, like I just wasn't myself, or I get overstimulated really easily and I just like lose my social battery, and so I'll just like be sitting there like, this is great. This is great, babe. Like it's so bad. Like I like will lose my social battery, and so I'll feel like if somebody meets me for the first time and I've lost my social battery, then they don't get the full experience of Alex, and then they just end up not liking me because they didn't get to know me intimately, which we'll be talking about later. So yes, I feel like reputations are, for some reason, which I find really stupid, but they're shaped by those three things, right? Now, unfortunately, my reputation has been shaped by those three things and a few other things. My dating history, like I talked about that stupid guy, my looks for some odd reason, and fabricated gossip have really contributed to the negativity surrounding my reputation. Now, beyond this issue with this guy, my looks became this huge thing at school. Something I've never really thought about, but a lot of people did. You know, I used to be a silk press warrior. If you're a day one, then you know. I've recently started my natural hair journey, if that's what you want to call it. And I've been loving it. Look at my little hair. If you're watching the video podcast, you saw my little bun and it's cute. But I was a silk press warrior, and I did it before it was trending. I was before Kamala, and a lot of people just used to say, I don't know, that it wasn't my real hair, or if it was damaged or whatever. People had a lot of comments on how much makeup I wore, the outfits I wore, how tall I was, my skin complexion. Literally any and everything that I was doing was talked about. I was like the most talked about thing the 2022 to 2023 school year. It was insane. And a lot of fabricated gossip, like I said, before all those crazy rumors, because a lot of those rumors I mentioned were made up during the time where I wasn't at school last year. A lot of fabricated gossip came from that situation with that guy sophomore year. So let me clear up this timeline. Sophomore year was the issue with the guy and my looks and all of the other fabricated gossip. Junior year, I got sick, missed the entire school year. I mean, like first day of school, everything. And that's when a lot of those like dead, pregnant, in a coma rumors came up. And senior year, I'm back and better than ever. So that's the timeline in case you got confused. And if you need like more clarification on this stuff, I talked about my full testimony in our episode. The best part of losing everything is getting it all back. So make sure to listen to that episode because that really, really explains everything in whole. Like I go way more into detail on that episode. But anyway, now all of these things that I just talked about really negatively contributed to my reputation and made me seem like this person that I'm not. I've heard so many rumors about me that don't reflect me at all as a person. I cannot tell you how many times I've met somebody at school and I've actually talked to them and we've actually had a conversation, and they'll tell me, wow, you're actually really cool. Like, I don't understand why so many people talk about you. And I'm like, I don't get it either because it's not a reflection of me. I like to pride myself in the fact that I'm pretty big hearted. I'm really nice for the most part. I'm pretty sensitive. Like, I'm a very empathetic person. And then I hear all these rumors that I'm like this scathing, mean girl who just is a hoe. Like, that's so insane. Like, you see how rumors and a reputation does not reflect you at all, because I know I'm nothing like the stuff people say about me. I'm literally nothing like it, yet that's my reputation. I'm known as like a mean, talkative, scathing hoe. Like, really? Like, the only thing right about that is talkative, right? Now, at first, this really impacted me emotionally. It's our human nature. When we put ourselves out there genuinely, and we show up and we're positive and we have pure intentions, and then we're met with pushback and negativity, it is human nature for our first thoughts to be, wow, well, what's wrong with me? Like, I must be an awful person. Like, what did I do wrong? Because everybody hates me so much, or everybody's talking about me, or, this person doesn't like me, and I tried my hardest. And it's our first thought, like, well, I must be this problem. Like, it must be me, it must be me. And I thought that for a really long time because I would go into spaces. Like this, my sophomore year, I was trying to be on our school softball team, which was hilarious, mostly because I suck at softball. And I was trying to be on our school's cheerleading team, and I was on our school's cheerleading team. And I would meet so many people there that I didn't know, and they already had these preconceived notions on me, and they didn't like me, and I didn't understand why. And I used to be like, well, what did I do? Like, what about me is so fundamentally unlikable that you can see me from a mile away and are like, don't like her, don't want to talk to her, can't stand this girl. What did I do? And then I realized I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything to these people. I have not sat down and argued with my entire grade and the grade above it and the grade above that one. I have not sat down and argued with all these people and cursed them out or talked about them or whatever. I don't even know half of these people. I don't know most of these people who dislike me. So what could I have seriously done to you? And the answer is nothing. I have done nothing. Like, not that I'm like this blameless, innocent person who can't take accountability, because I can take accountability where I've been wrong, and I have been wrong before. So let me make that very clear. I'm talking about in this very common instance that I've dealt with nowadays, which is people who do not know me talking about me. People who do not know a thing about me, judging my character and judging my actions and talking about me as a person. Like, you know me as a person. Like, that's hilarious. Like, but ironically, despite all of the hurt it has done to my self-esteem, it has also boosted my self-esteem in a way and built my resilience and built my self-worth, and we will get into that later. Now, before we get into our second segment, I want to ask a rhetorical question. Why do we let people who don't truly know us dictate how we see ourselves? Sit with that. Sit with that. Think on it. Pause the episode if you need to. Get a journal out. We might have to journal through this one. I wanted to introduce that before we went into our second segment. All right. So our second segment is titled Shifting the Focus to What Really Matters. Now, to me, there are three things that really, really matter when it comes to like how we're viewed. And it's God's perspective, our inner circle, and this is, subjective. Social media. That we'll get into. That's an interesting one. So the first thing. Now, I've shared before that I recently got baptized, best decision of my life, and I've really gotten closer to God over the past couple of months, and it has been amazing. And as I hope this is the correct verb, I really dove into my relationship with God and reading my Bible and all of that good stuff. I have realigned my worth to God's view of me. Now, when you think of God has this unconditional love and unconditional grace and unconditional mercy for us humans that we are not at all worthy of, yet he has it, right? And God loves me. He doesn't care about the fact that I've been talked about. He doesn't care about all the rumors. He doesn't even care about all the mistakes I have made and all of the stuff I have done before to hurt him, to hurt other people, to hurt myself. He doesn't care. He loves me anyway. God looks at me every day, and despite all of my past mistakes, like I said, all of my past mishaps and all of that stuff, he still thinks I'm worthy of love. So I'm lovable, period. God still loves me, so I'm still lovable, period. That's how it is. God looks at me every day and says, you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and I don't care about your past. I don't care about your mistakes. You are still chosen. You are still mine. So therefore, I am still worthy because God thinks I'm worthy. Period. It does not matter what any human has to say about me or if they want to throw my past in my face because I have one. I don't care because God doesn't care. So God says I'm worthy, period. So that's one thing I definitely suggest. Like, throw yourself into your word, throw yourself into prayer, and once you throw yourself at God, you don't really care what anybody else has to say about you because the most valuable opinion, the most valuable person who is going to tell you about yourself thinks that you are worthy. So you're worthy. Period. Period. I like that. I remember when people used to do that, and that's what it, period. Like, that's all it is. Okay. Second being your inner circle. Now, this is a value that's kind of stayed with me since I was like 15 or 14 when I was starting to deal with this with people. And I used to just say to myself, if people hate me and they don't know me, then that can't be a reflection of who I am because the people that do know me very intimately and have come to my house and have met my mother and know everything about me and have heard all my stories, they love me. So then I must be doing something right. The people that know me very intimately have no complaints about me as a person or as a friend at all because I'm doing something right. I can't be the reflection of somebody who don't know me. I can't be a reflection of their opinion. Quoted the Clean speech, which is probably one of my favorite Taylor Swift speeches of all time. And I can't quote it verbatim, but basically the point of this speech is how she says, "You are not the reflection of somebody who does not care about you's opinion. You're not." And it took me so long to realize that, but it's so true. The people that care about me, yeah, their opinions, might be some of a reflection of my character. If it was my best friend of 7 years telling me that I'm not a good friend and I don't know how to show up for somebody, then it would hold some weight in my heart because she's been my best friend for 7 years. But my best friend of 7 years has never said anything about me like that. So it must not be true. Hey loves, if you're enjoying the podcast, you'll definitely want to join our daily newsletter. It's like having a little dose of positivity, motivation, and inspiration delivered straight to your inbox every day. I'm sharing exclusive behind the scene moments, life updates, and everything in between, plus some personal thoughts and reflections that I only share with my subscribers. So if you're looking for a daily boost in a community of women on the same journey, head to the link in the show notes and subscribe today. Trust me, you won't want to miss out. Let's keep building each other up and thriving together. Okay, back to the episode. Third thing. Now, this one is very subjective. Our social media platforms. Now, as you guys know, I've recently gained quite the social media platform over the last year, which I had never ever expected, but I'm very grateful for it. And my growing platform has really allowed me to embrace who I am and focus on inspiring others rather than dwelling on negativity. It's insane to me every time I check my comment section and so many people are like, "Well, you're so beautiful and you're so amazing and you're so inspiring." And it's so insane to me because I hear so much negative stuff about me every single day. That's so insane to me because I have so many people in my daily life, and not daily life, just people that I unfortunately have to go to school with that are like, "Oh my God, she sucks." Like I said, just a talkative, mean, scathing hoe. And then I see these people online who see my worth. That has been like the greatest gift to me this year. My social media platform. It's been insane for you guys to be able to see my worth through a screen versus the people who see me every day in real life and can't see that. And that means so much to me. So those are the three perspectives that really matter to me. God's, my inner circles, and my followers. And, all three of them love me, so I must be doing something right. Okay, that was a tough segment to get through. You guys will see an edited great version of that, but that was a really tough segment to film, so. Okay, segment 3. Now we're going to be talking about what I call the uncontrollables, okay? Now, there are things that you cannot control that will be weaponized against you. And that's happened with me. Like I said, my dating history and my physical appearance have definitely been weaponized against me. And I can't control that. I can't control it. I can't control the fact that you hate me over somebody I've talked to or met or dated or whatever, because that's happened to me. I can't control the fact that people hate me over my hair, over my makeup, over my outfits, over my grades. I can't control that, right? But I have to embrace that because I can't control it. Because what I can't control is part of what makes me me. And what you can't control is part of what makes you you. I saw a quote recently. Oh my God, I wish I could just remember it verbatim. I suck at remembering things verbatim, guys. It's not even funny. But I saw a quote recently that was like, "I hope wherever I go, I'm the black sheep because the black sheep are always the ones that stand out the most and make history." And it's so true. I hated being the black sheep. I've hated that because I've always felt like that my entire life. I've always felt like the black sheep. But I embrace it now. I'm happy to be the black sheep because if I was fitting in and my life was just status quo, I wouldn't have this podcast and I wouldn't have you guys and I wouldn't have all of the blessings I've received. I always want to be the black sheep. Part of being that black sheep and embracing being the black sheep is embracing me unapologetically. I don't care about people sweating about the little things about me. You know why? Let me tell you this. I don't care about the little things about other people. I don't sweat other people. There has never been a time in my life where I will sit there and talk about somebody's dating history or what they look like or anything else about a person if they are not bothering me. You know why I won't do it? Because I'm so content within my own life. I don't have the energy or the time or the want to do that. I have so many better things to do than to sit up there and talk about somebody who's not bothering me. And it took me a while to realize that I'm being unfairly judged. And I'm being unfairly judged for a couple of reasons, but the main one being jealousy. People who are sitting there talking about you, even if you don't know them, even if you met once or twice in passing, or even if you know them intimately, and they continue to talk down on you, are more than likely jealous of you and are threatened by you. And that took me a really, really long time to realize. I had a lot of girls, I mean, a lot of girls at school who would comment on my looks and my makeup and my dating history and this, that, and the third. And it took, I think my last straw was this one particular girl. I've talked about how she hates me, right? I have one particular girl who is my biggest hater, but it took me a while to realize she's just my biggest fan. And I think my last straw was when she called my eyes freaky or something like that. She was like, her eyes are so scared. And it was so funny to me because I've never looked her in the eye. I don't see her in the hallway. I don't see her in passing. So it was like, you must have had to find some photo or see me when I don't see you or whatever to realize what my eyes look like. Because I couldn't tell you your eye color. And it took me having to sit down and, well, not sit down, kind of like follow her and talk to her about that conversation that realized you're just threatened by me. For some reason, you're taking your intimidation and your insecurity and you're trying to use your insecurity to reflect upon me and my reputation, which is stupid. If people genuinely dislike me over something like that, then these are people that are happy don't like me because you don't need to like me in the first place. If you are somebody who could hate someone over something as small as how much makeup they wear, then I'm actually really happy that you don't like me because I don't need people that petty and that insecure to like me in the first place. And when it came to this girl, I realized after so many years, that girl's just jealous of me. That girl is so jealous of me and just threatened by my presence, and it's stupid. And this same girl and her like other little sad friend, they just continue poking at the bear, guys. I literally texted my sister Friday and was like, why is she coming at me so much? Like, you might have to pick me up early. I might have to fight her, like, and she had to calm me down. And I'm like, I had to pray, like, you know what, let me let God handle it, because if I handle it, I'm going to go to jail. Yeah, it's relentless. Yeah, it's sad, but it's stupid. And the people who are miserable have nothing else to do but to sit up there and talk about people who are not miserable. Remember that. Okay, now I want to transition into our fourth segment, which is called letting go and moving forward. Okay, and I want to share with you guys that I have found such freedom in not caring about the opinions of people who don't genuinely know me, because I know their opinions do not reflect on my character. They don't. The people, like I said, who know and love me very intimately have no complaints. I never get into arguments with my friends. I never fall out with my friends. I never have these issues because I know who I am as a person. The people around me know who I am as a person too, and they love me. So there's really no big issue here. The only people that seem to have a problem with me are the people who don't know me. They don't know anything about me, and they seem to have the biggest issues with me. I wonder why, right? I want to encourage you to shift your mindset to focus on what matters most, like I shared, which is God, which is your personal growth, and the people who love you, not the people who don't care about you. And it's hard. It is so hard because I'm telling you guys, I have so many days where I'm like, wow, I might fight you. Like, I have so many days where I'm like, I will jump on you. Like, these people need to stop talking about me. They need to stop messing with me. I will jump on you. Like, I will hurt you. And then I have to remember, like I said, let me let God fix it, because if I fix it, I'm going to go to jail. But I have to remember, I don't have to defend myself because I shouldn't have these assumptions about me anyway. That miserable people are making these assumptions about me, these preconceived notions, these rumors, these judgments, and I'm just going to let them. I'm going to let them. I don't have to sit up here and defend myself anymore, because if you're someone who's that shallow that you would not only listen and entertain these rumors, but believe them, then I don't want you in my inner circle anyway. And remember that. Remember that. I'm so much happier now that I have shifted my focus to caring about the people who truly love me and my career and God. Do you know how peaceful my life is? My life is so peaceful. The only thing that stresses me out occasionally is my family at times and some of those same old stupid people from school. And then I just have to remind them that, I'll act like a real housewives and, in 10 minutes, you better you better leave me alone. And then once I do that, they get a little scared and we don't have that problem again. Okay. Now I want to end this segment with a reflective question, kind of rhetorical again. And it's, if they're not living your life, why should they have the power to define it? Let that sit with you. All right, guys, so we're going to be doing our Ask Alex question. So if you're new here, Ask Alex is a segment that I introduced a couple of months ago, which I totally love, where you guys submit your questions in our Ask Alex form in the episode description below, and I answer them in our next episode. Now, I've been getting so many since our podcast has started to grow in popularity, so I think I chose 6 today. I love these questions. I'm blind reading them, and I'm really excited. Okay. Hi, Alex. Hi. First of all, you're such a light. Oh my God, that is so nice. Your confidence inspires me daily. How do you stop caring about people's opinions without becoming bitter or angry? 1, thank you. 2, very, very powerful and important question. Now, I struggled with being bitter for a really long time because I was really bitter. I feel like I lost a year of my life and almost lost my life because of the bullying that I dealt with and a lot of like the relentlessness I was dealing with. And I was really angry about that. I was really bitter for a really long time. But being angry is not going to give you your time back. Being angry is going to instead waste the time that you have again. Like I've said, I've been very fortunate to get a second chance at life, and I don't want to spend that second chance being bitter or angry. I've been praying on things and I've been in therapy, and the biggest thing is I've been forgiving. I've been able to forgive and even reconcile with some people who have really, really hurt me in the past 2 years. And forgiveness is amazing because, like I said, you don't forgive other people for them, you forgive for you. And I've been forgiving for me and releasing that burden, and I felt so much more lightweight and so much more free, and it has been amazing. So, those are my 3 tips: pray, go to therapy, and forgive. Love that question. Hey Alex, you're honestly one of the most beautiful and relatable influencers I follow. You see, I love you. What's your advice for staying true to yourself when people spread rumors about you? 1, acknowledge that it's going to be hard and that the rumor is hurtful and that you don't want it happening. Because I feel like some people are like, just ignore it, let it go, let it fly. And it's like, wait, no, but that's hurtful. Like, why do you have to keep talking about me? Like, girl, I don't know you. Like, what is this about? So my first thing, yeah, acknowledge it. And then second of all, once you've acknowledged it, realize why it's bothering you, and there may be some truth to it, or it may be completely not true, or maybe somebody who you love spreading it or whatever. Acknowledge why that rumor is hurting you. And then 3, determine whether or not you want to confront that rumor head on, which I don't recommend doing, but sometimes you have to do because you're a Christian, not a doormat, or learn to simply ignore it because sometimes my guidance counselor taught me this. Sometimes people just want a reaction out of you. They can't reach your level, so they're trying to bring you down to theirs. And they want some kind of reaction out of you. They want you to act out of character. They want to get you in some way. And you just can't let them. Love that question. Hi, Alex. I admire your faith so much. It really shines through in everything you do. Thank you. That means a lot. What's a Bible verse or story that helps you stay grounded when you feel judged? Hmm. So many. There are so many because I love to read YouVersion, and like the YouVersion plans, they always talk about how God picks people who were like not perfect because like Noah was a drunk and then Moses stuttered and Elijah was suicidal and Peter was hot-tempered and all kinds of stuff, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of stuff. I remind myself of all of none of them were perfect except for Jesus, yet they were all picked, yet they were all chosen. And that's how I feel about myself. I'm like, okay, I might not be perfect, but like I said, Moses stuttered and Noah was a drunk and Elijah was suicidal. And they were all chosen, and I'm still chosen. God does not judge. I also have to remind myself that. I have to remind myself of God's character. God's love is unconditional and he does not judge you. And that's just part of what makes him a great God. So I just remind myself of those 2 things. That was an amazing question. Thank you. Hi, Alex. Hi. Your glow up has been insane, and I love seeing you thrive. Oh my God. That would make me blush. How do you balance staying authentic while growing your platform and dealing with criticism? I feel like we had a similar question a couple of episodes ago. How do I balance staying authentic while growing my platform and dealing with criticism? One of my like favorite songs, ironically, is Jenny from the Block by Jennifer Lopez, because the whole song is about how she's still like the same old girl from the Bronx despite getting like everything she's ever wanted. And that's kind of how I feel. I am still the same old person despite all the blessings that have come my way. I'm still the same old person. And when it comes to dealing with criticism, now that I get it with like the media and my interviews and whatever, I'm very used to it. It is not foreign to me because I have dealt with it so much in high school that it's not foreign to get it from the media. I am used to my life feeling like a tabloid. So I feel like I'm kind of like the perfect person for a platform because before I had a lot of followers, I still was treated the same way. So it's pretty easy for me. That was a nice question. Hi, Alex. You have such a strong aura of self-assurance. It's inspiring. Thank you. I feel like I'm reading these in such a monotone voice because I'm very tired, but these compliments really do mean a lot. These are really nice. What's one thing you wish you knew about handling negativity when you were younger? I think what I just said, that most of the time people who are talking about you negatively want to be you. People literally just want to be you. And it took me a while to realize that, but it's like the truth. Like most of the time, if somebody's sitting there and talking about you and talking about your life and they don't really have a clue, they're the first ones that want your life and want to be you. So I wish I could go back and tell myself that, like, don't even get it any energy. She just wants to be you. Just let it go. Wrap it up. Let it go. All right, last question. Hey, Alex, you have been killing it with your content lately. Well, thank you. How do you deal with people who dislike you for things that aren't even true? Like I said, if somebody can not only entertain these rumors, but actually genuinely not like you without knowing you because of these rumors, I just think that's somebody I don't need in my circle anyway. I don't need you around me anyway if you're going to sit up here and judge somebody over a preconceived notion that your friend or you have about them. I don't want you around me anyway if you can simply not like me over something that stupid. Or anyone else for that matter. I don't need you in my circle anyway. And yeah, like I said, I deal with the people who do love me. God, my inner circle, my family, my amazing followers, and everybody who listens to the podcast every Monday. And I just focus on that. And I just don't even focus on those people because they aren't worthy of my time or my attention. All right, those are all the questions I'm going to do for today because I do have to study for my finals. But I loved those questions. I love doing the Ask Alex questions. And if you want your question to be featured in our next podcast episode, submit your question to our Ask Alex form in the episode description below. Okay, last segment. This one, I'm going to be empowering you. Okay, I have created a list of actionable steps for listeners to stop caring about baseless opinions. Okay, and the first one is to realign your focus on your faith and your values. Okay, I'm telling you, it becomes so much easier to stop caring what people think about you once you realize what God thinks about you because His opinion is the only one that really matters at the end of the day. Second, identify whose opinions truly matter in your life, besides God's. It could be your mother's, your father's, your friends, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles. I don't care. Just make sure this is somebody who knows you intimately, okay? Third, learn how to differentiate between constructive criticism and unnecessary negativity. I used to think, like I said, a lot of the stuff that was said about me was a reflection of my character and it was just constructive criticism. But it is not. It was just unnecessary negativity because how can you get constructive criticism about your character from people who don't know your character? It's like, it makes no sense. 2 and 2 is not equaling 4. It's not adding up. It's not adding up. Once I learned how to differentiate the two, and I'm probably saying that word wrong, which is why I'm saying it fast, it became easier to just breathe and just be myself and be authentic and just say, well, I don't care because you don't know me anyway. And four, and last one, celebrate your unique quantities, okay? And four, last one, and for the last one, celebrate your unique qualities. Don't let others dim your lights. Like I said, embrace the untouchable or uncontrollable thing about you because those are the things that make you you. I celebrate the things that are quirky and weird about me. Like I have the ugliest laugh in America and I celebrate it because it makes me me. A lot of my friends were drawn to my personality because of my ugly laugh. And I like my ugly laugh, and what about it? You know, I'm not going to change my laugh because it's ugly, because I don't care. I like it. And the people around me like it, and God likes it, and we all just have a great time laughing, okay? And we're laughing at all the haters. Now, I want to encourage you guys so heavily to journal. Like, I need you guys to pick up a journal. Like, if you don't journal and you listen to my podcast every week, 2 and 2 is also not equaling 4. I'm such a big advocate for journaling because I have discovered a lot of like myself and gained a lot of my confidence through journaling and shadow work. Like, doing those journaling prompts help you so much more than you think. Like, you might just sit there and be thinking, well, I'm buying this burn after writing journal from Target or whatever, and it might not do anything, but it really will do something for you. Like, those questions are some deep questions who will really dig into your soul and find out the ugliest and most beautiful things about you. And once you find out all those things about yourself, you get to embrace them. And that's what I've been able to do. All right, guys. So we are in our closing segment. Now that we're closing out, I want to reflect on today's episode's main message, which is your worth isn't dictated by whispers or gossip or what anybody says about you. It's defined by who you are and what you stand for and the impact you make. I cannot tell you how many people told me I was nothing. I cannot tell you all the ugliness I heard about myself. And if I had listened to those people, I would not have the platform that I have today. If I had listened to those people, I would not be sitting here on this chair telling you my story. I would probably be dead. But I didn't let that define me. And I'm not going to ever let anyone who does not know or care about me define my worth. I will never let that happen, at least not again. Okay? I want to encourage you guys, like I said, to journal about the opinions you've let define you and how you can let them go. Okay? And if this episode resonated with you, I definitely want you to share it with a friend who might need this reminder today. And don't forget to leave a review. It means the world to me. I love you guys so much. If anyone's opinions matter to you, it should be God and mine, because I think you are amazing and you are incredible and fearless and you've gotten through so much and you can continue to fight. So do not let any whispers or gossip get you down. Okay? Before we close out this episode, I want to encourage you guys again to follow at Living My Life MGTG podcast on Instagram and TikTok to stay updated on all things My Guide to Girlhood. Subscribe to our daily newsletter and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I love you all so much, and I will see you again next week on another episode of Literally My Life, My Guide to Girlhood. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Literally My Life, My Guide to Girlhood. I'm so grateful to have you here sharing this journey with me. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe, share with your friends, and leave a review. Every bit of love helps us grow and continue to bring more raw, real, and authentic conversations your way. Remember, girl, you're never alone in this journey. Keep shining, stay true to yourself, and keep pushing towards your dreams. You got this, and I'm here cheering you on every step of the way. Until next time, stay amazing and always keep believing in yourself.